When we look up at the sky, we are frequently struck by the majesty of the planes that fly through it. These incredible machines are engineering marvels designed to transport us across vast distances in comfort, safety, and speed. And two of the most remarkable airplanes ever built are at the forefront of this industry: the Airbus A330neo and the Airbus A330. Since its introduction in 1994, the Airbus A330 has been a mainstay of the aviation world, renowned for its dependability, efficiency, and passenger comfort. However, in 2018, Airbus introduced the A330neo, a new and improved version of the classic aircraft with advanced features such as state-of-the-art engines, aerodynamic improvements, and enhanced cabin amenities. So, which of these two aviation behemoths reign supreme? Stick around till the end of the video as we look at these differences, and without further ado, let's get right into it. The creation of the A330. In June of 1987, only 4 months after the first flight of the Airbus 320, Airbus made public their ambitious plans to launch a medium to long-range twin jet that would be known as the A330. Additionally, there would be the 4-engine Airbus A340, which has a longer range than the A330. At the time, it was anticipated that the Airbus A330-300 would be able to carry 335 passengers across two classes, with the A330-200 coming later in the development of the project. However, because of the timing of Airbus's development, the A330 was never given the recognition it deserved. When the A340 became the primary focus of attention, Boeing leapfrogged the competition in the market by releasing the 777, another twin jet that carried more passengers in a more efficient manner. Even though the A330 could accommodate fewer passengers than the other aircraft, which made it ideally suited for most medium-range routes, it still needed a longer-range variant. After that, Airbus would go on to design a scaled-down and lighter version of the A330, which they would call the A330-200. This aircraft would have the benefit of a longer range, which would be ideal for airlines located in the Pacific, such as Cathay Pacific or Singapore, but the trade-off would be that it could only accommodate a smaller number of passengers. 1997 was the year that we saw the maiden voyage of the A330-200. What happened after that, as the saying goes, is history. As airlines transitioned to more efficient operations and new regulations allowed for long-haul flights on two-engine planes, Airbus A330 program became a runaway success and became the company's most profitable product. After waiting nearly 20 years, Airbus introduced the first significant upgrade to the A330 family of aircraft. Cabin differences. During a flight, passengers spend the majority of their time in the cabin of an airplane. It is where they eat, sleep, work, and play, and as such, it is an important factor in determining the overall flying experience. So, how does the Airbus A330neo and A330 fare in this regard? First, let's take a look at the cabin dimensions. The A330neo has a longer fuselage than its predecessor, allowing for more seating and more space for amenities. The A330neo can seat up to 440 passengers in a single class and 260 passengers in a typical 3-class configuration. Meanwhile, the A330 can seat 440 passengers in a single class or 300 passengers in a typical 3-class configuration. However, it is not only about the number of seats. Because of its redesigned cabin architecture, the A330neo has a more spacious cabin with wider seats and improved headroom. This means that even in long-haul flights, passengers can enjoy a more comfortable and relaxing flight. Both planes provide a variety of amenities to keep passengers entertained and comfortable. The A330neo has the most up-to-date in-flight entertainment systems, including high-definition screens and touchscreen controls. The plane also has improved lighting and sound systems, which contribute to a more relaxing and enjoyable environment. The A330, on the other hand, has proven to be a popular choice among airlines due to its spacious overhead bins and comfortable seating. It also has in-flight entertainment systems and Wi-Fi, allowing passengers to stay connected even when flying. Other interior differences. Well, in addition to cabin sizes and amenities, there are several other interior differences between the Airbus A330neo and A330. The type of seats used in the cabins is one significant difference. The A330neo has 2 seat options: the popular Recaro CL3710 seats, known for their comfort and adjustability, or the new Airspace by Safran seats, which have larger seat backs and integrated storage areas. The older but still comfortable Zodiac Aerospace Series 3 seats are typically found on the A330. Another distinction is the design of the restrooms. The lavatories on the A330neo are larger, with more space for passengers to move around and change clothes. The restroom also have touchless fixtures, which help to reduce germ spread and promote cleanliness. Meanwhile, the lavatories on the A330 are more traditional, but they are still spacious and comfortable. The A330neo also has cutting-edge air conditioning and filtration systems, which contribute to a more comfortable cabin environment and better air quality. While the A330 still provides provides a comfortable cabin environment, it may lack the advanced systems found on the newer A330neo. While the interior designs of the A330neo and A330 are very similar, there are some significant differences in the seats, lavatories, and air conditioning systems. Passengers who value comfort, amenities, and cutting-edge technology may prefer the A330neo, while those who value dependability and a track record may prefer the A330. Design differences. Other than interior differences, the Airbus A330neo and A330 have distinct exterior designs. The plane's outline is one of the most striking variations. The A330neo is more aerodynamic and cutting-edge than its predecessor, thanks to its redesigned wings and curved wingtips. In comparison, the A330's wing design is more conventional, with less pronounced wingtips. Both the engines and the vehicles themselves are unique. The A330neo is powered by the most recent Rolls-Royce Trent 7000 engines, which are quieter and more fuel-efficient than the A330's engines. The A330 typically employs the more mature Pratt & Whitney PW4000 or General Electric CF6 engines. The use of composite materials in the A330neo's design is another notable departure from the original. Composite winglets are one way the A330neo saves on weight and power consumption. The plane's fuselage and other parts are increasingly made with composite materials, cutting weight while increasing durability. The A330's cockpit also has modernized with cutting-edge avionics, including enlarged displays and enhanced automation. As a result, the pilot's workload is reduced and their situational awareness is enhanced, leading to a safer and more productive flight. Let's now look at how much it would cost you to own any of these jets. But hey, before we get to that, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe for more content on aviation. Already done? Let's now dive into the costs. Cost differences. Price, hourly cost, subscription cost, pilot costs, and maintenance cost are just some of the variables to think about when contrasting the Airbus A330neo and A330. With the list price of around $296 million, the A330neo is more expensive than the A330, which has a price tag of around $246 million. Prices paid may differ from those listed here. However, as a result of haggling and other factors, the A330neo is expected to have hourly operating costs of about $17,000, while the A330 is expected to have hourly operating costs of around $16,000. Expenses such as fuel, upkeep, crew, and others are included here. Fuel prices, maintenance requirements, and other variables can all affect the true cost of operation. There may also be a difference in the subscription prices for navigation data and other services between the two platforms. The A330neo features cutting-edge navigation and communication systems, which may necessitate more expensive subscription services than those used by the A330. The price of hiring a pilot can also change depending on how extensive their training is for the specific plane. New avionics features on the A330neo may necessitate additional training for pilots. Nonetheless, seasoned pilots might be able to adapt to the new plane with only a little practice. As a result of its superior technology and brand new components, the A330neo can have higher maintenance costs than the other plane. However, the A330's age and the use of older components may increase the frequency with which it needs maintenance. Now, close to 10 years after Boeing unveiled the 787, another aircraft with a similar range profile, Airbus introduced the A330neo. And due to the 787's overwhelming success, most airlines have already committed to purchasing this plane, leaving little room for the A330neo in the medium and long-range haul markets. However, the future for the Airbus wide-body is not bleak. Airlines may have to choose the A330neo to replace their aging fleets because Boeing's rumored NMA, or new mid-size aircraft, is still years away. Customers flying on airlines have also given the jet high remarks, suggesting an increase in orders. Enjoyed this video? Well, there's an even more interesting jet to check out. Click on this video to watch inside the Airbus ACJ220, the new $81 million jet suited for VIPs. And until then, goodbye.